Greetings from the Charterhouse, and this the first of our lockdown glimpses into the life of the charity. You will see the buildings immediately behind me, but I'm filming this afternoon in Charterhouse Square, and I want to tell you a little bit about it. Of course, I have no idea where you are. You could be sitting in Timbuktu. So let me start by saying that we are on a 7-acre site right in the heart of London, between legal London and the City of London. And this place started very, very early on in 1348 with the Black Death. The land was acquired here to be used as a plague pit. So as you can see, we are no stranger to unprecedented circumstances. We survived then, and we will survive now. So the plague pit, this land was acquired to bury the thousands of people who had died of the plague, and this was just outside the city. In effect, all the areas in the city had been used, and so they needed to get some new space. And Crossrail Station is immediately across from here. When they were here 5 years ago excavating, they pulled up a lot of skeletons which they placed in our cloisters to examine, and with the DNA testing they did, they established that Yersinia pestis was in fact present, and so we can absolutely say that this was a burial ground for those who had suffered. And of course, what we forget in these secular times was, in those days, you couldn't just have a burial ground, you needed to have people praying for the dead. And so Sir Walter Manny, who had travelled throughout France looking at monasteries, came here and set up what was a Carthusian monastery. He based it on the wonderful place near Grenoble called La Grande Chartreuse. And of course, this is why it's called Charterhouse, because the English, the Londoners, couldn't say Chartreuse, they said Charterhouse, and hence the name. So that's why it's called Charterhouse. Obviously, once the monastery was dissolved, this then would have been a Tudor mansion. And we forget that at that time, people would have lived in the City of London and come out here for their country dwelling. So this was a rather lovely country dwelling for various Tudor nobles. And of course, Queen Elizabeth I spent some time here before her coronation. But following the acquisition of it by Thomas Sutton in 1611 for an almshouse and a school for boys, it was then for centuries just used by the residents of the almshouse and the boys up until 1872 for the brothers. And even 5 years ago, this was a rather scrubby bit of land surrounded by tall privet hedges and loads of parking. And the governors, in their wisdom, decided to open a museum and a learning centre in the Charterhouse, and they commissioned the renowned garden designer Todd Longstaff Gowan to come up with a scheme which has got historical echoes, which has got beautiful commissioned benches, and which has got a beautiful wildflower area with poppies and other wildflowers, blue, red, yellow, white, all around the garden. And this is not only beautiful, but it's also been fantastic in terms of encouraging the wildlife. So what's this been like in lockdown? We decided early on to open it for longer, to open it 7 days a week, because we recognise that actually there are a lot of older people living near here who need somewhere where they can go and exercise. Islington is the borough with the least green space of all the boroughs in London, so it's vital that we have spaces like this to use. And since a couple of weeks, when the brothers have not been restricted to the Charterhouse site, Mondays they have come here, they have met friends and family at a distance, and it's been a safe, private space for them. So we encourage people to come here. You've seen there are some people enjoying themselves. This week has been glorious, with people coming with their families every evening. We've got a pop-up stall happening on the 14th of July. We've had in the past wonderful music festivals with the Barbican and with Culture Mile. So there is always an awful lot to come and see. We're 5 minutes from Barbican, 5 minutes from Farringdon, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you.